When you're looking for a hydration product, what are the things that you're looking for?
If I'm ever looking for a hydration product, the number one thing I'm looking for is that it tastes good. Like, water has no taste at all. Water's what, like, nature turns to rehydrate, and that's a little bit boring. And then you come down, are you gonna go with sugar? Are you gonna go with sugar-free? And all of this is just conversations point. Does this taste better than the other product? That's it. Jocko Hydrate is delicious. It's got electrolytes. That's between you guys. I don't know what electrolyte is. Frankly, I don't even need one. You could give me more electrolytes than the opponent, I'll beat the opponent. You could give me less than the opponent, I'll still beat the opponent. I can't even spell electrolyte. This has them, whatever that is. And it tastes good, which is really what matters. Well. I just got back from Brazil. And what an incredible time I had. So, Derek, do you know where my wallet is? Would you mind getting my wallet? It's out there. It's out there by the door. I need my wallet. I never thought I'd have to have proof. I never thought I would have to have a piece of evidence. But one of the great and most reliable writers, journalists, media members, contributors, I don't know what to call them in our space, right? They've got a .com associated. You know, hey, turn in your work, yeah, 1,000 words by 5 p.m. Whatever that is in our space. Mike Bowen, very good guy. Oh, Mikey's this just wonderful guy. I gotta watch him grow. But Mikey has reported and misreported that I was part of an exhibition fight. Now, there is no such thing as an exhibition fight. There is an exhibition, but you don't then get to call it a fight. That's like those pricks that go out and do a grappling match and then say that they got in a fight. I got a fight later today. Oh, wow, do you really? Who you fighting? So-and-so. Oh, man, I heard about him. I thought he just did gi jiu-jitsu. Yeah, that's what it is. Why'd you call it a fight? What's a fight? No, it's not. It's a grappling match. This is my federation card. This is my licensing. You may not be licensed and do an exhibition match. Are you aware of that? It's very fine detail. I understand that it's a fine detail, but it's important fine detail because you cannot do both. It is not within the rules, or nobody would ever do anything sanctioned ever again. Any promoter that brought in sanction is only bringing in a government entity to oversee them, to enforce their own rules, and to take 6% for the pleasure of doing it. You guys know what the SAG is? The Screen Actors Guild? I am part of it. And it is quite possible, I would argue for you, but I would be open if you wanted to argue. I wouldn't be mad about it, but I believe it is to be the greatest union in the world. I believe it to be the greatest union ever formed. And I'll just share for you, if you're a member of the Screen Actors Guild, you can do other work, and we won't even call you a scab. But if you're a member of our guild and you go do other work, we will now have a problem with it, and we will call you a scab. You can't do both at the same time. This is what I'm trying to share with you. You cannot be licensed for obvious reasons and be part of a non-sanctioned event. And I tell you that because I was very proud. I went out and I had a fight. I had a fight with a gentleman who I've never beat. And I feel as though there's more to the story. On one hand, I never beat this guy. On the other hand, I completed 6 rounds against him, 3 judges assigned to each round. So if that math's a little off, you get where I'm getting at those 6 by 3, 18 judges, even if it's the same judge over and over. 18 judges, 6 rounds, 30 minutes of fighting. I have never lost a round. In fact, 2 of those rounds were 10-8 rounds. So when I tell you I feel that there's more to the story, I feel like there's a little bit more to the story. I will be inducted into the Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks. And there was some resistance to that, because I had not won a championship. Now, I have beaten 4 current Hall of Famers. I get that those aren't titles, but they're mine. That's what I have. I wasn't champion, but I beat 4 champions who are in the Hall of Fame. More are still coming. I'm talking about right now, there's not another fighter out there anywhere that's beaten 4 other guys that are in the Hall of Fame. I've done that. So these things do matter to me. And I went out to get into a fight. And I had Mike post an article. First off, he called it an exhibition. I don't know why he did that. Now, other people have used that word, but they used the word, they meant to say extravaganza, or they meant to say an exhibit. And it got lost in translation. And we've seen this many times, but in America, an exhibition, this is play. And Mikey then called our fight that a glorified sparring match. And when it was done, I thought that I won. I thought that I won the first 3 rounds. He clearly won the last 2 rounds. Right? I think I won the first 3. He clearly won the last 2. He beat me up more in those 2 rounds than I did to him in the 3. I do understand those things, but I offer that to you just to illustrate that I understand those things. It's still a 10-9 must system. I won rounds 1, 2, and 3, 10-9. I lost rounds 4 and 5, 9-10. I thought I won. And Mike wrote an article and said, Chael chose to ignore and act as though this was to be scored as a regular sanctioned boxing match. What? His implication, of course, being that it was not a sanctioned and judged, regulated boxing match. Yes, it was. It bothers me. Now, I can't tell you I didn't have it coming. I can't tell you I haven't done that to the boys over in Pride, and I didn't work more than a few guys up. But I gotta tell you, now that the shoe is on the other foot, it doesn't feel good. And why? I don't really know. I suppose I don't really know. My son gave me a hard time. His criticism of the fight, he said, well, you could have hit harder. I said, well, I appreciate that. But I fought this guy for over 30 minutes. And I hit him as hard as I could many times, but it wasn't hard enough to get him out of there. And therefore, it's a waste of energy. I have not made it to the distance with this guy before. He has not won a round against me before. So now in this contest, I'm going to do something different, which is I'm going to make sure I have energy. I'm going to do just enough to win the round, to make sure I have energy for the other rounds. That's a strategy. And Mike Bowen said it was an exhibition, glorified boxing match with a predetermined outcome. There is not a word of that statement that's true.